in order for you guys to come, if you guys want a shot at their champions, you have to be part of the DAZN channel.
Hey, listen. The zone there,
right now,
it's a dozen.
Right now,
we're
dummies.
fighting on. Let them do what they do.
Like I said yesterday,
Hearn get burned. You did. It all sounds the same. Don't worry. Look, we're gonna continue to do what we've been doing.
We don't want to talk bad about them because they need that. You know, but let me
he's in New York right now. He can meet up with us and shoot us a better offer. We're not going like that. We're not going down like that.
Eddie Hearn's on some love and hip hop shit.
Some boxing hip hop.
He on some love and hip hop shit. Trying to get artists that are already done and washed up, and that's what to me, that's what, you know, you see artists you don't even see, like in a long time, you see them on Love and Hip Hop and shit, right? Well, Eddie Hearns, we don't know how many fighters, how many L's do they got? Some of them, how many L's do some of them fighters got? Do we really got some superior undefeated dogs? Like,
this is Jermall and Charlo earlier at their press conference, which is seen right here at the bottom, for their card coming up on December the 22nd, 3 days before Christmas. The free PBC on Fox card. Okay, in this video, I got a few questions for you. Number one, is this the right card to start off a new deal? This is supposed to be the new PBC on Fox deal. And right now, it's looking like a regular PBC on Fox card like it was before, when they had guys like Leo Santa Cruz versus Chris Avalos and Abner Maris versus Andres Gutierrez, and eventually Santa Cruz's Maris 2 happened, the rematch. Let me try my best to explain the politics of this fight. You got Jermall Charlo right here. This is him right here. WBC interim champion, which means that sometime in the next, give or take 6 to 8 months, they probably will try to screw him over for Canelo's May fight if Canelo beats Rocky Felding in December as well, just 1 week before this card. So there's something that's supposed to happen, is what's called a purse bid if the two sides can't get a deal done, meaning Jermall Charlo's PBC, Al Heyman's Showtime, Fox side, whoever, and Canelo, Golden Boy, the A side, the Zone. So obviously, who's the number one in this situation? Canelo, right? It's up to Canelo to say, okay, here's an offer for you, Jermall Charlo. I want to fight you next to defend my title. If Jermall Charlo doesn't take the offer and Jermall Charlo counter offers, then the WBC says, okay, listen, we're going to give you 30 days to get a deal done, or we're going to put this fight up for auction, purse bid, which means that any promoter can bid on it. I believe the opening bid is $250,000. Both of these sides don't want that. However, Showtime's money is long. PBC Al Heyman's money is long. The Zone money is definitely long. They don't want that situation. But however, Jermall Charlo, if you was his manager, or in this case Al Heyman, the advisor, you would say, okay, listen, we know that the big fights are over on that platform, but let's do everything we can do for you over here on our shit before we have to possibly send you over there. Now, Jermall Charlo for the last year or so has been open to leaving Showtime or, Fox or, PBC affiliated programming to go over to other programming to fight for a title. For example, you're going to hear him and Jermell talking, but I'm going to tell you who Jermell is and, and who Jermall is, not who he is, but when he's talking, and we're going to dissect those points. Also, I'm going to have this video actually uploading right now, so I don't want to have it uploading and playing. I don't want to crash my PC. So listen in.
Hey, listen. The zone there,
right now,
it's a dozen.
Right now, we're
dummies.
fighting on.
Let them do what they do.
Like I said yesterday,
Hearn get burned.
That's Jermall Charlo, WBC interim champion, saying Hearn get burned. Listen, follow his voice.
It all sounds the same. Don't worry. Look, we're gonna continue to do what we've been doing.
We don't want to talk bad about them because they need that. But let me
he's in New York right now. He can meet up with us and shoot us a better offer.
So listen, you're hearing Jermall Charlo saying, listen, Eddie Hearn is in New York because they're having this press conference here in Brooklyn. Well, it was earlier today in Brooklyn in the Barclays Center. Yesterday, Eddie Hearn, Dana Jacobs, Sergey Derevianchenko had a press for HBO, had a press conference over in Madison Square Garden. Eddie Hearn is in New York for that card this week. So you have Jermall Charlo saying, hey, listen, Eddie Hearn, we in New York, you in New York, come shoot us a better offer. But listen, it's some more.
We not going like that. We're not going down like that.
Eddie Hearns on some love and hip hop shit.
Some boxing
he on some love and hip hop shit.
That's Jermell
trying to
talking.
get artists that are already done and washed up, and that's what they. To me, that's what you see artists you don't even see like in a long time. You see them on love and hip hop and shit, right? Well, Eddie Hearns, we don't know how many fighters, how many L's do they got? Some of them, how many L's do some of them fighters got? Do we really got some superior undefeated dogs like? You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman crew. It's something that ain't happening right for us not to all be working together. Some greedy shit
it's
going
not.
on.
It's not just.
There's some greedy
It's
shit
not
going
just
on.
like, oh, the Charlos don't want to take millions of dollars from this guy from England or something. Like, come on,
Some
bro.
greedy shit going on,
It's
bro.
definitely not like we're not gonna be out of our position, out of our place.
But
Al Heyman has been
lifestyle
great
is
to
boxing
us.
too.
So that's Jermall talking and saying, like, listen, it's not that we don't want to, basically not that we don't want to take the money. We just, obviously, he's saying he want to make sure that shit right. But, like, looking at the 160-pound division, when you look at Demetrius Andrade, new WBO champion, he's over on the zone. Danny Jacobs, if he wins, he's going to be over on the zone. Canelo's already over on the zone. You got Rob Brandt, WBA world, but nobody really cares about that fight. He likely will be fighting Murata again, but I'm sure the zone is after him. David Lemieux over on the zone. Gary Spike O'Sullivan, guys like that over on the zone. So we'll see. Like, it's too early to judge Jermell right now for sticking around over on Showtime and taking this fight with Willie Monroe. After all, they've been talking this fight up. However, people are going to give Jermall Charlo shit, and they are giving him shit because his last meaningful fight was against Julian Williams. And guess what? By the time he steps into the ring with Willie Monroe, it'll be 2 years. But I'm not going to give him no shit for the decision he's making. For the decision he's making. He's the WBC interim champion. Wait until April or so. See what the WBC is going to do. Stay on Al Heyman and say, hey, listen, for example, when did he win that WBC interim? Oh, yeah. Listen, it's April. 1 year. 1 year. So in the beginning of April, the WBC should be like, hey, listen, Canelo, it's been a year and you fought Golovkin, that's cool. And you fighting Rocky Felding, that's cool in another division, but unless you fight a unification, and remember, unification trumps a mandatory. So, okay, let me do it this way to better explain it to you. Canelo, WBA, WBC. The IBF will be decided this weekend between Danny Jacobs and Sergey Derevianchenko. Billy Joe Saunders is an asterisk next to his name because we don't know if he's going to be suspended or not. Likely will be. Demetrius Andrade, WBO. Damn it, I forgot my point. Oh, okay. So Canelo, right? If he beats Rocky Felding and Danny Jacobs beats Sergey Derevianchenko, then Canelo will likely fight Danny Jacobs next. Hence, it'll be a unification. The sanctioning bodies are not going to stop a unification, especially the WBC. So therefore, the heat is really going to be on Jermall Charlo of who he's going to fight next. Now, there were hints and talks of him, hints and rumors of him possibly going to 168 for maybe a fight or so. Possible. But until we know what's going to go on in April in regards to Canelo's next fight, then it's hard to say. I'm not going to give Jermall Charlo. I understand the fans are frustrated and everything, and I understand how it's going to come off, especially me being a black channel. And it's like, man, you always give. I don't give a fuck. I'm calling it like I see it. The politics are preventing Jermall Charlo in particular of getting the fights that he wants, and right now, since he's the mandatory, he's going to have to get a shot or Canelo's going to have to vacate. And Canelo can't afford to vacate. We'll see. I say give him till April until we see, what happens. So he fights in December. He should, we'll see. His next fight, if he beats Willie Monroe, no disrespect to Willie Monroe, he's got to win. But on to the PBC Fox deal. I'm just, I got to say that I'm disappointed. It's like, okay, all right, I'm cool with Jermell Charlo versus Turney Harrison. In my opinion, that should be the main event. But this was determined by a coin toss. In fact, let me see if I can get you the, here it is, a clip of it. It was kind of cheesy, but whatever. the Charlos were really fighting to get this fight in Houston, you know, in Texas. And this card, in my opinion, would have been so much more better received as a homecoming card, especially by media. I mean, it's still the same card. I just think that the media would have been more kind to it. Here, watch this.
Is going to flip this coin. Heads is, as you can go ahead and see, the WBC side. Tails is Fox Sports. What a fitting, unbelievable way, because we're PBC on Fox. So heads is the WBC side, tails is the Fox side. Now, Jermall Charlo is going to come forward and is going to call it as Gerry Cooney goes ahead and flips the coin. So both of them, and Jermell wants to see it as well. Jermall, I'm going to give you the microphone. When he flips it, go ahead and in the microphone say what your call is.
I'm trying to be main event. Heads.
This is Jermall right here. And Jermell. Obviously, size difference.
Why you ain't let it hit the floor? You do that over, man. That thing got to bounce. Heads it is. Heads it is. Hey, don't you gotta do that? Got it, Ronnie. Let's go, baby.
The jacket, though.
So Jermall Charlo and Willie Monroe Jr. is the main event for December 22nd. Round of applause for Gerry Cooney for flipping the coin. And I will once again turn it over to my very good friend, Brian.
So, yeah, that was the cheesiness of it. But, you know, man, it is what it is, man. In regards to Jermall, 154-pound WBC champion. See, this is a get-ready fight for him versus Jerry Swift Hurd. Jerry Swift Hurd is supposed to return on the undercard of Wilder versus Fury, opponent unknown as it stands right now. The reason why is because he's coming off of a shoulder injury, so he wants to, you know, make sure everything's cool. Jermell Charlo's mandatory could very well end up being Julian Williams, whoever he's ordered to fight, but he's going to stay at 154 pounds. And his next fight, you know, especially since him and Jerry Swift Hurd are on the same schedule, if they both win, we could expect for them to fight in about April or so, maybe May, you know, in a headlining card. So you can see the Charlos, this will likely be their last card, you know, like being like together, and they should be headlining after this. Jaime Munguia, we don't know what's going on with him, because I see him jumping ship to 160 before he ever, you know, before anything ever gets too hot with people calling for him to fight Jermell Charlo. But then at 160, people are going to be calling for him to fight Jermall, you know. But 154 right now was not really that deep in regards to like big names. And the guys at 147 are guys that are too small. The big name guys at 147 are kind of too small to move up to 154. Guys like Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, you know, meaning height-wise. You know, I think 147 is the max for Danny Garcia and Sean Porter in regards to height. I don't think Sean Porter can hold his own with his style, getting it on the inside. Kell Brook, yeah, he's going to be fighting at 154, but right now he's trying to boil down and make sure he's healthy enough without oxoxofrene to be able to fight Amir Khan at 147. We'll see, though. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Shout out to my man Rick Morris up in New York, who's going to be covering this fight for us, likely. We don't know yet. I'm trying to figure out this whole schedule. I'm supposed to be going to Canelo versus Felding. I'm rather much covered from home, but I got to be seen out there. And then we got Loma versus Pedraza. We got to figure this out. We're going to see. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.